welcome back to this Thing of Ours podcast.
Where we talk about all of life's highs and lows.
And everything in between. Happy Sunday, you guys. Happy Sunday.
How you guys doing? How was your week?
That was something good. Anyways, Curtis is smiling right now because he's so happy. And you know that smirk people give you when
they're right?
Yes. That's the smirk that Curtis is giving me right now. So you know what? Let's just do a quick flashback to last week's episode.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that this time. And watch it come out perfect.
Anyways, you know what? It just might. It just might.
But yeah.
I just had a feeling that if you did the dough, I knew it was going to work out. I just knew it. I knew it.
Yeah. So far we've done 3 different batches. Mm-hmm. The first batch, Amelia made the dough. Or put all the ingredients together. So that was the first batch. But it was a work in progress. We tweaked the recipe a little bit.
You tweaked the recipe a little bit.
Yes. Yes, I tweaked the recipe a little bit. And we made another batch. Still not there. Still was not it.
No, but it was pretty good. Like, we took it for lunch.
Yeah.
And I messaged you. I said, Curtis, this was a very good batch of the gluten-free patties.
That's not what you said. Let me pull up what you said.
Oh, my gosh.
Because it was definitely not like that. You said, yo, all in caps. They were so good. That's what she said.
Why you should... That's not even how I wrote it.
That's how I read it. Anyway, that's how I read it. But yeah, I was laughing when I read that.
They were very good.
Because I hadn't tried mine yet. You had your lunch before me. I ended up taking a late lunch that day. Mm-hmm. So as I'm reading it, I'm like, I'm just about to try mine, right? So I tried it. I'm like, yeah, it's definitely a lot better, but it's still not it. Mm-hmm. It's still not it.
So we made 2 batches, okay? We made the beef, and then we also made a vegetarian batch. Mm-hmm. The vegetarian filling is what I got from YouTube, and then we just kind of winged the beef one.
The beef, I just put a bunch of spices that we had, just randomness.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not like a authentic beef patty,
yeah.
Right?
But to be fair, we both made this patty what it was, because I made the vegetarian one.
That's correct.
Without your help, and then you made the beef one. So technically, it was 50-50, and you said that the vegetarian one was better than the beef one.
The filling for the vegetarian was definitely a lot better than the beef one I made. Beef's still not terrible, but it's just not authentic, like, at all. But yeah, anyway, like I said, still not it. So this weekend, just yesterday, throughout the week, I stopped and I got a few different ingredients. So we tweaked the recipe again. Instead of using almond flour, I used all-purpose flour.
That was gluten-free.
Yes, I bought some tapioca flour. Instead of using like a lot of ground flaxseed. So like I did some changes to the recipe, and this dough turned out a lot better.
Yeah.
It's almost there. Mm-hmm. Mind you, like, we are still trying to make everything gluten-free, and gluten-free is not the easiest thing to make. Even like stuff you buy in the store is just they can't replicate the authentic gluten recipes, right? Like some of the gluten-free stuff you buy, like those pierogies we tried buying one time.
You guys don't get me started on that. That was a fail. That was worse than the patties.
And these were store-bought. These were store-bought, and they were terrible. You drop them in the boiling water, and the whole dough just like peeled off of them. Like, I don't understand.
It turned into mashed potatoes. That's really what it was. And it was even like an actual good mashed potato. This was like sticky mashed potato. Yeah. Like, it was just like clay or
it was
something. It was a ball. It was terrible.
But anyway, so yes, we're still trying to make everything gluten-free. So that's why, like, we're working there. We're getting there. But still not quite it. The dough, it's very close, but it has almost like a texture of...
Like a cookie? Like a pastry?
The pastry, or more of like pie crust.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's not like that airy flakiness that you get from an authentic patty, right?
But it was still very, very good.
It tasted good.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was still very good.
The taste was very good.
The thickness of the dough was there. Like, it wasn't crumbly. Like, like, and it wasn't dry. Like, if you've had, gluten-free pastries before, sometimes, or bread before, there's some brands out there that their bread is just terrible. Like, you can't toast it. Like, you know what brand I'm thinking of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some gluten-free brands it's just not it. Like, they need to go back to the lab and rethink their rethink their ingredients a little.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, I generally think that your patties came out very good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a picky eater, you guys. So
yeah. But yeah, we're almost there with the dough. The next thing to perfect is going to be the filling.
I think what was off was because it didn't actually taste like a patty. It just had a bunch of flavors. It just tasted like it was just seasoned very well, but it didn't taste like a patty.
Yeah.
This batch, I have to say, it looked like a patty. My mind convinced me I was eating a patty, and it tasted almost like a patty. But like you said, it didn't give that flakiness of when, the crumbs at the bottom. You just want to take the bag and drop the rest of the crumbs in your mouth. It was so good, but I think what was missing was just that flakiness.
It's just the texture. That's all we need to get now is just the texture.
But the color, I think, was there. The color was very good.
So we'll throw up a few pictures of the process for this batch here.
But give us any tips, like if you like to bake, and you can help us out with how to get that flakiness with a gluten-free version to make the patties. Let us know. Any tips out there? Because somebody has to know something.
Yeah.
True. Someone has to know. Someone could tell us to add one small little ingredient, and that could be what was missing.
That could be the game changer for sure.
Yeah, but it was very good. And we haven't tried freezing them yet and then reheating, because that would be a test too, But so far, the moisture was there.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy they didn't come out dry, because let me tell you, I've had some terrible, terrible gluten-free food, and it just wasn't it. Just wasn't it.
But yeah, so we are having a lot of fun cooking and trying out new recipes, just having fun in the kitchen rather than cooking just to cook, right? Trying out new recipes, trying out new things. And especially because Amelia eats gluten-free stuff, right? And this is kind of new to us in a sense. It's only been a few years. And you were always trying to buy like store-bought stuff, right? And trying to find store-bought stuff.
And it's so expensive.
It
like,
is. Yep.
You guys, like, there's this flatbread that I like to buy.
You get 4
on a good day. No, you only get 3.
You only get 3?
I only noticed that, like, I think it was Friday. We were going to make flatbread pizza. 3 flatbreads for $7 plus tax. Plus taxes. We're in Canada.
Yeah. So
that's insane.
You're almost $10 just for 3. And they're not big.
No, they're not.
Like, they're not big.
They're not, but they're actually very good.
They are good. They did good with their recipe and everything. But yeah, it's so expensive. So now, like, recently we've started trying to experiment and trying to make our own gluten-free stuff. But not only just gluten-free, but like we talked about the almond milk, trying to, instead of buying dairy milk, make our own almond milk, use the almond flour, just having fun in the kitchen, which kind of leads me into this topic that I wanted to discuss. So there's healthy habits and there's unhealthy habits, or like comfort things that we do, right? Things that bring us a little bit of joy in the moment, but some of them, they're not necessarily good for us and some are. So I kind of want to discuss a few topics. So one, for us, a healthy habit would be us having fun in the kitchen. Like it's an activity we could do together.
I'm not going to lie. I enjoy it because you enjoy it.
Oh, yeah?
I don't enjoy cooking.
You enjoy the final product.
Yes, I do. I like to film Curtis do the cooking, as you guys can tell.
Yeah.
If you followed me on Instagram, we did do the, what is it called again? Make Good Food kit.
Yes.
That's similar to the
Yep.
HelloFresh. And Kurz was the one who cooked it all, and I just literally filmed it. I enjoy looking at the process, but I actually don't enjoy getting my hands dirty in the kitchen. It's just not something I enjoy.
Yeah. I actually do enjoy cooking. I really do.
And that's why I knew that you were going to make that dough 10 times better than me. Yeah. I knew it. We said it. Like I said, well, you said it's going to come out good. And I said, I bet it will. Yeah. I knew it would. I think that's your healthy habit.
That's my healthy habit?
Yeah.
It's cooking? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I did write a list, so I do have a few different habits here.
Yeah, like even my sister, my oldest sister, she likes to bake. I'll leave her Instagram on the screen here. I'm sure she wouldn't mind if I shared her Instagram, her art. Mm-hmm. I find baking, cooking relaxes people. And I've heard a couple people tell me, yeah, I just love to cook because it relaxes me. You know, I get into this zone and I just bake and design things. And that's like my sister. My sister, when she's baking, she becomes a perfectionist. Yeah. You know, and I could see that she actually enjoys it, you know. She enjoys
it, and she created an extra source of income from it, right? So
anyways, yeah, check out her Instagram. She's pretty talented.
Yeah. But yeah, so what do you want to start with? Unhealthy or healthy?
Let's start with unhealthy. So the bad news and the good news.
Yeah, so a few unhealthy habits that I feel personally we sometimes get into little modes here and there. And I feel like probably a lot of you can relate to this as well. So the first one is binge watching TV. So for us, I don't feel like we watch TV all the time, but we have times where we end up getting into this mode where it's like we binge watch an entire series, right? And then we're like, okay, yeah, we watched a lot of TV. Let's cut that out for a little bit, right? So that I think is one unhealthy habit that we sometimes get into.
Okay. I think an unhealthy habit for me would be the stress snacking. Like I'll go weeks and weeks without snacks. But I feel like as soon as that Friday night comes and then let's just say you stop at the grocery store and you're like, oh, I'm going to Loblaws. Do you want a snack? And I'd be like, yeah, sure. I haven't had a snack in a while. I'll take some chips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is one I had on the list here. So overeating or stress snacking, right? And like you literally call it your stress cheese.
Yeah.
Right? So we buy a brick of cheese. You'll literally cut up slices and eat it as soon as you get home from work.
So listen to this. We were joking about, cheese being my stress reliever. Yeah. But it's actually true. Apparently, cheese is addictive.
Yeah, something in it.
Yeah.
Actually, there's some type of chemical reaction that happens that it actually reduces stress.
Yeah. And we were just joking. Curtis used to laugh at me like, oh, there you go again, eating your stress cheese. Yep. All week, you guys. I didn't have any cheese because we ran out. I ate the last piece. I ate the last piece not too long ago. So, like, Lily had no cheese. I was pretty stressed. And I kept opening the fridge when I came home from work looking for my cheese. I'm like, damn, I have no cheese. Close the fridge. Go back upstairs. And I was going to be like, should I go to the grocery store and get some cheese? And that's all I kept thinking was, I need my stress cheese. I need my stress cheese.
Like a true addict.
Anyways. Like, that is my stress reliever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that has some type of food or some type of snack that helps calm them down,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I find that so weird. I feel like I should be on that. What's that TLC show? My Strange Addiction?
Strange Addiction?
Yeah, My Strange Addiction.
No.
Is that a strange addiction?
No.
I'll cut that out real quick.
Those ones are very strange. Very strange. I've seen my mom's watched that show a few times here and there.
Yeah, I've watched it a couple times.
I've come across some of the episodes she's watched, and yeah, those ones are very odd.
Promise me it's not a strange addiction.
No.
Okay.
It's not. But yeah, so that is one. And like what you can try to do instead of like let's say you are someone that eats chocolate bars or chips or just something that's actually really unhealthy for you, try to not keep it in the house. Try to buy actually good healthy snacks. Yeah,
I know it's going to be in my food. So what, should I not just buy any cheese?
Well, no. You just got to control it. So instead of coming home and cutting open a slice of it right away, try to hold off and not do that. Try to only use it for your actual meals. Don't eat slices of it. Unless, like, you're going to take it for your lunch, right? You bring some grapes and some sliced cheese for your actual lunch, right? That's different. But, like, to literally come home, and as soon as you walk through the door, you come into the kitchen before even making Trumpet's food. You open up the fridge, cutting open a slice of cheese.
I'm gonna end up on strange addiction.
Anyway,
you're making it sound crazy, Curtis. I feel like I've been living in denial, and now like he's actually put it out there. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I might be addicted to cheese. Have I been living in denial this entire time?
Yeah. But no, that is a way to look at it. So like the first one we talked about was binge watching, right? And now we're talking about like stress snacking or overeating. So if you change the way you look at it and like try to understand like your habit of how you're doing these things, you'll see if it's healthy or unhealthy, right?
But sometimes you need people to call you out on it.
That's true.
Because I was just snacking on cheese. Because I'm like, well, we have no other snacks, so let me snack on my cheese. I'm really not thinking anything of it. It was only until you started making fun of me is when like I was like, oh yeah, and we started putting a name to it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna snack on my stressed cheese. And it wasn't until we saw it on Netflix. I think we were watching a documentary, and they said how dairy cheese is a stress reliever.
Yep.
There's something in it, and that's when you called me out on it. You're like, see, I told you.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, like, oh my goodness, you're right.
Yep. But yeah, moving on. So the next one I have on the list is mindless scrolling.
You do that.
I'm guilty of this from time to time. Sometimes I feel like I don't go on social media like at all. But then I get into this little mode here and there that I'm like, that's really all I do. I wake up in the morning, I grab my phone off the nightstand, and before I even get out of bed, I'm already on my phone, just randomly just flipping through.
To be honest, I don't think it's sometimes. I've been noticing you've been doing that a lot, like for a while now. I just never said anything because, I think nowadays it's in quotation normal to be scrolling on your phone.
Yeah.
But like you never did that before.
Yeah, I know.
Like you used to just open up your phone and
turn
see
off
the
my
time.
alarm,
Yeah.
and then that was it.
Yeah. But now like sometimes you'll just be sitting there and you'll scroll.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you're like, right before going to bed, he's scrolling. Or if you're going to the bathroom, you're scrolling. And I'm like, what are you doing? Or if he's in the kitchen and he's waiting for the water to boil, he starts scrolling. And I'm like, wow, I'm like, since when do you go on social media? And if I'm just looking at videos.
Yeah. It's the shorts.
And even when you're watching TV, he's on his phone and he's just scrolling. And I come and I'm trying to change the channel. And you're like, I'm watching this. I'm like, you're scrolling. What do you mean you're watching this?
Mine, like, when I'm watching hockey, it's different. Because hockey, they always have the replay, right? So I'm not really watching the game itself. Once I hear in the background, like, some cheering and I know, like, something just happened, where either someone scored or there was like a crazy save or there's a fight or something like that, you can tell the mood changes in the game, and then I stop scrolling and I look up and like I watch the replay. So when you turn that off, that's what I mean. Like I'm watching it, but I'm not watching it.
I'm curious to know, because you know how like your phone can tell you how long you spend on your phone now, like what's your screen time. Look at you. What's your screen time?
I don't know how to find that. Where do I find that?
See, this is why you should be Team Android.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know how to find all that. I've never tried to look into that. Oh, screen time. There you go. Daily average is 2 hours and 6 minutes.
That's your daily? Well, check on the weekends because, I mean, unless you're scrolling at work too, I don't know.
That's actually not that bad. I mean, it's not great. Still a lot of time wasted sitting
Sometimes it
there.
will tell you, like, oh, you are 3 hours above your average scroll time or screen time, whatever. Hold on, now I can't find mine.
See, that's why you should be team iPhone. I was able to find mine a lot easier, a
I
lot
don't have
faster.
time for your foolishness.
Yeah. But yeah, see, like looking into this, like there's like scheduled downtime. There's app limits you can set. So there's different ways that you can control it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's just a quick like, no, I don't want to follow this right now, and you just swipe it off.
Mm-hmm.
But at least it gives you that quick like reminder, like, hey, you've been spending a little bit extra or more time than you should.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Anyway, moving on. The next one that I have, either oversleeping, undersleeping, or overnapping, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
For
Is it bad because you're hitting the snooze button?
Yeah, so like in the morning, if you hit snooze multiple times, you plan on waking up at 5:30 and you end up getting out of bed at 6:30. That ain't good. Like you just wasted a complete hour that you planned the night before to actually have, right? You set it for 5:30 for a reason, to wake up, to do a couple things in the morning, but now you just slept through. And now you just got to rush to get ready and you're off to work and your day's already started, you did nothing, right? So I'm kind of bad for that. And I think the other part that I'm not great at and that I have a bad habit for is having like no sleep schedule whatsoever. Some nights I'll pass out on the couch at 10 p.m. Some nights I'm up completely until like 1, 2 a.m. sometimes, and then I got to get up in the morning and go to work.
Yeah.
Right? So like my sleep schedule is just all over the place and it's actually not good. I know that and I got to work on that. I know I have to work on that because it's not good.
Yeah.
It's probably not even like just for my daily activities, it's not good, but for my actual health in general, it's probably not good. Right?
So what are some good healthy habits?
Some healthy habits that I have. So walking or hiking, right? So we used to, I feel, go for longer walks. And I think we still do in the summertime. We go for longer walks. Wintertime, it's a little bit difficult. But now that we have Trumpet's shoes, we should probably go for a nice long walk. But one thing that I was thinking is you can change the walk into like almost like a new adventure, right? Instead of just like walking out your front door and just walking around your neighborhood, take a quick little drive. Go to a little park where they have a trail you can walk through, right? Or go to a nice neighborhood where you can look at the houses and kind of like picture yourself living in a neighborhood like that, and like just something that like is more uplifting and makes it more of an adventure rather than just walking out your door and doing nothing. Just kind of walking around your neighborhood that just feels the same and it's not really fun.
Okay, what's another one?
Another good habit, listening to music and podcasts. So this one, I guess it kind of controversial. There's some music that's probably not the most uplifting, but there is some that, it will make you feel better. It'll change your mood for the better. And then there's some podcasts that may not necessarily be good in a sense. Not like their topics aren't good or anything, but like it's just negative in a sense.
Okay.
But then there's podcasts that are very positive and very uplifting, and you can watch podcasts where you learn things and things like that, right? So that's another one.
When I drive, like majority of the time when I'm driving to work and even on the way back, I don't really listen to anything. I literally drive in silence most of the time. It's very rare now that I'll put on music. I'll put on a podcast or I'll even turn on the radio. It's very rare I'll do that. But majority of the time now, I just drive in silence.
Yeah. I mean, I do too sometimes. If I've had like a really stressful day, when I get in my car at the end of the day, I'm just like, it just needs to be nothing. Just nothingness. Just let my brain just like calm down and be like, that was crazy. Take a few deep breaths. You know, practice your breathing. Let your stress levels come down, and then you continue. Then maybe halfway through my ride, I'll turn on something.
Oh, yeah, no, not me. I'm driving in silence.
Yeah. But yeah, another one. So that kind of goes into one I had here for healthy habit. So mindful breathing, meditation, and then yoga or stretching.
That's your last one?
No, those are just related to what we just talked about.
Oh, okay.
So mindful breathing, you know, like I said, just take a few deep breaths, let your stress levels come down. But yeah, another one I have is reading. You know, reading, I used to read a lot. Haven't done that in a long time.
Do you listen to audio? Like audiobooks? Like the Audible? You used to listen to that in your car other than like the podcast and the music.
Yeah. But I haven't for a while, actually. There's a lot of things that I do as a habit for a while, and then I fall off for a bit. I'm like, I need to get back into that.
Has there been any habits that you used to do before you met me? And like, because you know, sometimes you meet people, you either have a really good habit or you either have a really bad habit, and then you meet your partner and they either take that good habit from you or they take your bad habit from you, and then you pick up on their bad habits or their good habits.
Yeah.
I feel like I've only given you good habits, though. I think I'm a good influence.
Oh, yeah? I mean, I can't really think of any off the top of my head.
Because there is none.
But I'm sure there's a couple bad ones. There's got to be. There's got to be. Okay, one for example.
Oh my goodness, why do you even ask?
One for example is getting ready in the morning. Whether you showered at night, showered in the morning, doesn't matter. What I'm talking about is actually getting up, getting ready, doing your hair, getting some nice clothes on that you feel good about yourself. And then when the day comes and you're like, I need to go to the store, I need to do this, or someone asks you, do you want to go here? You know, you're already ready. You're good, you feel good, and you're ready to take on the day, whatever it may be, right? Whereas you always had home clothes, right? So when I met you, I started having home clothes. Now I have baggy sweatpants that aren't in good shape. Those are my home clothes. And when I'm in those, yeah, I'm comfortable at home, but that's the problem. I'm comfortable at home. And when I'm like, oh, I got to go to the store, I'm like, I don't feel like it. I'm not ready to go. And I just don't go. Right? Sometimes you need to go and then you're forced to kind of get ready and go. Yeah. But when you're ready, right? It is what it is. Like you just get up and go. So I think that's one bad habit.
Okay, can we jump to a good habit, please? I don't know why you had to start with the bad habit.
A good habit? I don't know. What's a good habit?
Ouch. Well, I could name a good habit that you've been a good influence on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've helped me pay a little bit more attention to detail. You know, like, do I rush something just because I want to get it done? You know, and then when I look at how well, let's just jump back to the patties, how well these patties came out. You really took your time with the ingredients. You took your time with rolling the dough. Like, I've watched you and everything you, I don't know if it's the Virgo in you, but I feel like it's everything you do. Yeah. You pay so much attention to it. Anything you care about, you pay a lot of attention. Even if it takes you 2 minutes, like you can tell he didn't just rush it, unless we're folding clothes here. But other than that, yeah. So I think that's a good habit that I picked up after, what are we, going to 9 years? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I know one good habit that I picked up from you is actually keeping my home and everything, like actually like deep cleaning,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because before, like, I always just like surface clean. It wasn't like I would move couches, I would move fridges, and like get in behind all that stuff. I never really used to do that. I would just basic surface clean, nothing on the counter, or maybe a couple small things on the counter. As long as it's not like a complete disaster, it was good enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good enough for you, which is okay. And
that's because I picked it up from my mom.
Yeah.
You know, my mom and my dad, they are clean freaks.
Yeah.
No offense, parents, but yeah. And I've picked up on it. You know,
Yeah.
like they taught me to make sure your house is always presentable because you never know who's gonna show up or at your house or who has to use your bathroom. So they told me, you know, always keep your house clean.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I learned it. And I guess you picked up on that. See, I knew I was a good influence.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure you picked up a bad one from me and good ones from me.
I can't think of any right now.
Oh, no?
No.
Anyway. But yeah, so anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to discuss today is just unhealthy habits versus healthy habits and how we all have some of both, but the unhealthy ones are the ones that we need to focus on, we need to work on, and like consciously be aware of them so then we can work on them, right? Yeah, so I think that is something I want to do. I want to write a list of my unhealthy habits and start actually figuring out ways to reduce or eliminate, right?
Yeah, the first step is becoming aware.
Yep. It's true.
Yeah.
And I think having someone, like you said earlier, having someone point those out for you sometimes is necessary. Because sometimes you don't realize it's a unhealthy habit that you have, but someone else does. Someone else does notice it. So even if you have to ask people like, hey, do you think I have any unhealthy habits? We're going to end this podcast here. We're going to work on them, maybe discuss them in a future podcast. What we've came up with, our list of ones that we're going to work on and how we've corrected them. Maybe we'll discuss that in another one. But yeah, if you want, write some that you have in the comments below, some unhealthy ones, some healthy ones, or some unhealthy ones you've had that you already worked on. Let us know in the comments below.
Yep.
And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast.
And let us know what you think of those patties that Curtis had. You don't have to tell me what you think about mine. I already know mine didn't come out. Okay? I already know it's 0 out of 10.
It's all good.
I already know. So let us know on... let us just know what you guys think and if you have any tips to make the patties taste a little bit better. Yeah. Any tips. So thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of This Thing of Ours podcast.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Don't forget to subscribe, like this video. You can share this video if you would like. And we will catch you in the next episode.
Yes. Have a good day, good week, and see you next time.
Peace.